Hey y'all, so bear with me because my little phone thing be spinning, so I can't get it to stay like this, because as soon as I turn this corner it's probably gonna slide back down. But I just hopped on here because all people always said, let me put my mouth down, be careful who you have your kids with. And you don't really understand that completely until you done had some kids. Because I absolutely thought I was doing right by marrying my first child's daughter. My first child's dad. And he ended up being all my kids' dad. Because I felt like you're supposed to have one child's dad, right? That's the right thing to do. Get married, have your kids, have a family, and live happily ever after, like the fairy tales had said. Girl, them fairy tales be lying. Because ain't no way. These the fairy tales I was reading. So, I found myself in a predicament with my kid's dad where I literally called this man to beg him to see his kids. So he has kids before my kids, and I was naive enough to believe then that the mothers were influencing or keeping him from seeing those kids or being a part of those kids' life. Now, in some instances, yeah, they was, but for the most part, he wasn't contributing to their child's life enough to be a part of it. So when the opportunity did come for him, he wasn't taking advantage of those opportunities. So now that we're separate and we're not together after spending a decade with this man, we're not together, but we still share children. So I had hopes that we could co-parent better, because after a decade, I felt like we've both grown and learned some things about being adults and being parents. But my kids haven't physically seen their dad in the flesh since March, since spring break when I took them to visit. And I have little girls. I have one son, which is their dad's only son out of all of the children, that's missing his dad. The girls, they need their dad. They're coming into this stage in their life where they're emotional. They're finding out what real friends are, and just really trying to find themselves as a person and really stand on it. Because I feel like 6 or 7 kids know pretty much who they want to be, how they want to act, what kind of persona they want to give off for that time frame until they reach the adolescent, teenager, preteen, teenager area. And then it's different. For girls, it's a lot different because the hormones kick in. And for me, all of my kids are 2 years. The last 2 are 18 months apart. So everything happens in a wave. I'll get it from one, maybe a year, less than 18 months, another one. But it all trickles down. They all see the bigger one, and it trickles down to each child. So most recently I had my third child. I have 4. So my third daughter, which is the youngest of the girls, she had this breakdown where she felt like her goddad was doing too much talking. Okay, first of all, kids being able to tell you that an adult doing too much talking, we have reached a new level of parenting. So I'm asking her, like, explain what you mean. The gist of it was she just wanted her dad. She doesn't want another guy here. She doesn't want God dad today. Yes, he's great. Yes, he does this. Yes, he shows up for these things. But at the end of the day, she wants her dad. So when I call dad and I'm telling him, hey, we just had this entire meltdown. I'm sure it's way bigger than what she's saying. It's more to it. It's packed on. But she's having a meltdown in regards to all the things that she's packing on. So you need to show up. So yeah, he talks to him on the phone. We've got FaceTime. Everybody be on the Wi-Fi. Sometimes he'll play games with him on the phone, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you gotta show up. Sometimes they just want a hug. Sometimes they just want to tell you to your face that they love you. And if you're not allowing them that, how does that make them feel about you? How does that make them continue to respect you when they can't get what they need from you emotionally? And how do you expect someone to have a balanced emotional upbringing when they can't see you? So it had been like a month since I mentioned it to him that was going on with her, and I felt like she needed to see him in order for her to, you know, understand that he is still her dad. He still want to show up for her. It's been a month. He still ain't came here. He still ain't showed up. Now, I don't know your circumstance. I don't know what he got going on. I just know these your kids. And for me, when my kids need me, I gotta drop it. I gotta put stuff down. I gotta make a way. Whether it take me 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But if when I called you back, you're not saying, I got it together, I booked this, I'm en route, I can't respect that. I can't respect that. And it saddens me to know that I lightweight knew this the predicament that me and my kids would be in. But I was hopeful that we had been through enough for him to understand that these kids was gonna need him, whether we needed each other still or not. So I'm just here to give the PSA to those of you who do not have children. Please be careful when selecting your fathers of your kids, because you may as well go on down to the bank of sperm and gather you some children, because these men and these fathers don't always want to be fathers. They don't always want to parent. They want kids. They want that. But they don't want the responsibility that it takes to raise kids, to parent kids, to be there every day, to show up for them meltdowns and depression. Because these kids are very mentally aware. These children are not playing with these folks. So you got to understand where you stand. They want to know where they stand with you. So I just want everybody, pay attention, read the signs, know what's going on. Married or not, you don't have to keep giving somebody kids because you think that that's what they want or that's what y'all want. I always wanted kids, wanted a lot of kids, but I also wanted a partner of some sort to be able to help me manage those kids, not just financially, because I'm not calling him blowing down about no coins. I said, can you come see them? He's talking about when he get a spot, when he gets situated. Okay, bet. But in the meantime, can you pull up? Can you come to something? A competition, a game, anything. So know who you dealing with before your kids have to suffer for it.